I got a lot of comments, a lot of comments about the epoxy paint. Lots of theories, hypotheses, questions about what went wrong, what could have gone wrong. At this point, I don't really care. It didn't work. I couldn't get it to work. But I did want to show the mixing process of the epoxy to show kind of the consistency of the product I was working with. I'm not going to put this back in my gun and shoot it because I simply don't want to clean it up. It's stinky. I'm not going to wear a mask because I have to talk. This is the thickness, hope you can see that, straight out of the bucket. Okay? It's sheeting off really bad. That's like, usually these things are measured like, oh, it should be like skim milk or whole milk or you know, things like this. This is like thinned fondue. That's just awful. So let's put some in a bucket. This mix is 4-to-1. I think. Was mixing up the other one, I got confused. Oh, 3-to-1. Good thing I checked. You know, I didn't want to be dishonest. So we're just gonna do 100 milliliters. See if I can hit the mark. Oh, that's stinky. Alright, stop. So now, let's see if I can get this clean. Not too bad. Next, I want to show you the hardener. So, hardener. Shake it up a bit. I'm just going to pour it into a different bucket. This has about the consistency of 30 weight oil, be my guess. It doesn't sheet as much as the epoxy itself, but it's still pretty thick. You could probably spray that straight up out of the gun. Let's see what happens when we mix it together. I think that's at the B mark. So, this is what I was told I should be spraying. I don't think that's a consistency that's sprayable. I don't know, if this sits around with a hardener in it, you know, for 20 minutes or so, does it thin out a bit? We should find out. It's supposed to have a pot life of around 8 hours. God, I put the lid on this. It's stinky. Good. If this were latex, I'd thin it some more. If this was primer, I'd thin it some more. I don't have a viscosity cup to give an accurate measure. I just have the old-fashioned way with a ruler. So let's wait 20 minutes and see what happens. I'll come back to it. Time flies when you're having fun. Let's see if it changed anything. No, still not. Still. So, what have I mixed up here? 100 milliliters. Let's add some thinner to it. Let me show you. On the can. Focus. Oh, it's not gonna focus. Hurry, my arms hurt. Yeah. Well, there it says 3-to-1 epoxy hardener plus 15 to 25% thinner. So let's start with 10%. See what that gets us. I'm going to reuse this cup. It still has a little bit of hardener in it, but if I get it out. There. Be more scientific. All right. So 100 milliliters would be. I don't even know if I can measure that small. Okay, I'm just gonna guess. Well, 25 milliliters would be. Okay, that should be all you would need to thin it at 25%. So we're going to add a bit at a time to see what happens. So we'll start with 10%. Whew, that thinner's smelly. I'd have the fan on, but you wouldn't hear me anymore. It feels thinner. Still sheeting off the edge of the mixing stick. Let's add some more. It might be 20%. Feels better. Oops. It's not sheeting as much, still a little bit. Kind of hard to get the thinner to get into the product, if that makes any sense. It's kind of hanging out around the edges, that's why it's splooshed over. Splooshed, it's a technical term. So, yeah, it's getting better, a little gloppy. A little sheeting action going on, but closer to the paintable. Go the full Monty, 25%. This is the maximum recommended by the can. The auto parts store, the guy who mixes paint for a living, it's he's in charge of the paint department. Said, "Oh, no thinner. Don't need thinner." He said it in a beautiful French way. Well, he only spoke French, so. There everything sounds nicer in French. It's a drippier, less sheening going on. That might be sprayable. I don't know how well it would lay down. I couldn't get it to lay down the other night. In the end, you have to use a product you can trust. And after probably getting bad advice, I don't know if it was bad advice. The guy does this for a living. This is the product he recommends. He says no thinner, so it's just something weird there. So in the end, I didn't trust the product. I wasn't going to put it on my car. If I put it all over the car and it was and I had to take it off, it'd mean another 10 days of sandblasting. I ain't gonna do that. No one in their right mind would be doing that. And this stuff doesn't sand off very well. It gums up your paper. So if you don't trust it, don't use it. With regular primer, the other stuff, you know, if it doesn't work, it's sandable, so it can come off. This stuff, I put some of it in. Well, yeah, I'll show you. To the trash can. I was playing with this while you were waiting. This is the can off the old gun. It's been sitting here for 4 days. It didn't cure. Some of it on the outside where it got air cured. Like it's stuck really good. Well, it's kind of stuck to the can. Scrape it off with your fingernail, but you know it's not a rough surface, so that's how it works. But inside the can, it's still dripping, even though hardener was added. Now, I'm not a chemist, but I always thought I didn't know that air was needed. Anyway, in the end, I'm happy with the choice I made to just go with the 2K primer. I know what it is. I know how it works. It'll seal the car up well enough that it'll last past my lifetime. This isn't a car that's going to see weather on a daily basis. This will be taken out on, you know, nice weekends and driven in the sunshine with the top down. It's not going to go through mud puddles. It's not going to be driven on dirt roads. So, yeah, I'm happy with my choice. I know the internet has different opinions on some of these things, but this is the way I went. Next step will be some sanding, a lot of seam sealer. My God, there's a lot of seams. And paint. If you like this video, click the like button below. If you want to come along on the ride as we complete this project, click the subscribe button. If you want to make sure Google reminds you every time there's a new video, click the alarm bell. Your support is very much appreciated.